Good evening, friends, and welcome to Memorial High School. You are watching Rider Nation Station, and we are here to open the 2022-2023 basketball season. We're just going to jump right into it. You are with the J Crew tonight, and we are here to bring you girls basketball action for the St. Mary's Rough Riders. This is not the season opener. They've been on the road for a couple games. Derek, why don't you, let's start off by giving a little recap of last year and how it translates into this year's squad for St. Mary's.
Sure. St. Mary's is coming off a 19-7 season where they finished tied for fourth in the WBL behind Shawnee OG and Bath. And they lost a couple really key players for them. You know, they lost Kendall Daringer, a first-team All-WBLer, averaged over 13 a game, 4.5 assists, 3.5 steals. You know, so just a really well-rounded player, and maybe even more so than the stat sheet, just kind of kept things going for the Riders on offense. You know, the offense really ran through her, and so that's something they got to replace. And then Noe Ruane, as another notable graduate, gave them about 11 points a game and provided them with a lot of outside shooting. So, you know, for a team that last year didn't score a ton, losing that offense is definitely something that they're going to have to look to replace, and something in their first couple games that they've struggled to replace.
Been fairly low scoring. The Riders have started off with, unfortunately, 2 losses in a row. Dropped a 59-45 game against Fairview in their season opener, and while 45 points is pretty decent, obviously had some defensive lapses in that game. Then they turned around the next night on Saturday and played at Tri-Village, but actually played Vandalia Butler, and in that game really struggled offensively and dropped a 44-32 game to the Aviators. And so as we come into tonight's game, they're going to look to obviously get that first win on the scoring column, but hopefully get their offense kind of back in gear. They're they're hosting the Kalida Wildcats tonight, and give us a little history on Kalida's team.
Yeah, Kalida, coached by Adam Huber in his 13th year, kind of been known as a defensive guy, and talking to him before the game, he said that's kind of going to be this year's team's identity, as being a defensive team. And we, when we played Kalida last year, lost 29-26. So, you know, that defensive identity kind of manifesting itself there. So, you know, definitely with losing the players they lost last year combined with Kalida's defensive identity, that'll kind of be the struggle tonight, is getting enough offense.
Offense will definitely be a key. We're going to take a little break here for the national anthem. Okay.
Albert Sporting Goods is here to outfit your team, both on and off the field. Since 1980, Albert Sporting Goods has serviced schools, clubs, and businesses throughout Ohio. For all of your uniform, spirit wear, and equipment needs, make it Albert Sporting Goods. Order online now at albertsportinggoods.com and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
St. Mary's Legion Post 323, veterans working for veterans and the future of our country. The St. Mary's Legion Post 323 supports veterans programs such as Gifts for Yanks, Support the Troops, Comfort Warriors, Blood Donor, POW MIA programs, as well as children and youth programs. The St. Mary's Legion Post 323 also donates thousands of dollars each year to local summer programs such as Boys State, Girls State, Scholarships in Education, Boy Scouts, Oratorical, and Shooting Sports. St. Mary's Legion Post 323, remembering the past, living the present, and working for the future. St. Mary's Legion Post 323, veterans working for veterans and the future of our...
Okay, as the squads get ready for the starting lineups, we'll pick up a little bit of where we left off right before the national anthem. Last year's game was really a defensive slugfest at 29-26, and you know you've got Kendall Deringer and Noe Ruane that put in for the season 24 points a game between the two of them, and in that game they were held to 3 points and 2 points respectively.
Right, and you know that's generally in the basketball world probably a sign of a good coach. You know, someone who's really doing his homework on the scouting report and doing his homework and knowing who to take out of the game. And you know, kind of as we transition to this season, the writers are looking to some players who got some minutes last year, who need to step up offensively. Morgan Hesse. And then the Rabel sisters, Cora and Reese. They've kind of been the offensive forces so far of the year, so you know I would look for Kalida to kind of focus in on them and doing their best to shut them down.
Yes, Morgan Hesse so far has been leading scorer for the Riders, averaging basically 8 or 11 points per game. And the Rabel sisters are both averaging 8.5 points per game. Ella Jacobs at 5 points per game. So not a ton of scoring right now, and I'm sure that Coach Burke is looking for that to improve. But in their defense, they did get a fairly late start with the soccer season going as long as it did, and that's an issue that every coach deals with. When they have a successful either volleyball or soccer program. Kalida coming in, first game of the season. Talking to Coach Huber before the game, and he said normally they open with OG, but OG has also been doing well in the fall sports, and so they've had to delay things. And he said, unfortunately, it might be kind of a permanent thing, because they anticipate doing well in their soccer and volleyball here in the future. So, and it looks like we're underway, and the Wildcats get the tip, and the Rough Riders are coming out in a little zone.
Nice cut through the middle there by the Wildcats, but a little bit of a wild shot missed by number 23, Brooke Earhart.
And it looks like a full court man, very aggressive. And again, we talked in the pregame about Kalida is known for being a very physical, aggressive defensive team. And the Riders are going to have to respond when someone gets in your face like this. You have to be aggressive in return.
Right. The kind of rule of thumb is when somebody gets really aggressive on you defensively, that means you got to take it to the rim.
And Reagan Allmeyer with a shot from the corner there for 3 to get the Riders on the scoreboard. And Rabel to Rabel on the pass there. Reese Rabel did a really nice job on that steal, keeping the left hand in the passing lane, knocking it down so she didn't get a foul. And got the turnover there, and hopefully that's a sign of good things to come. Ella Jacobs aggressive on the boards, and she's here to get a couple free throws. Nice to get those easy first baskets right out of the chute. Get kind of comfortable shooting the ball.
Kind of interesting dynamic. Something you don't see all that much is two teams pressing each other. Usually most teams that press don't like to be pressed back. So kind of interesting to see how this one plays out.
And Camille Hovis makes a nice shot there. So far in the early going, Reese Rabel has been the designated outside shooter for the Riders. And Bank is open for Morgan Hesse there at the top of the key.
I'm not sure she called that one, but I think the Bank's open here in St. Mary's at 7:30.
And the Riders responding with a 2-2-1 press of their own. Didn't cover the middle on that, so made for a somewhat easy break there. And very nice drive by Brooke Earhart. Didn't finish. Deep bomb by Reese Rabel, and she's shown here in the early season she is not afraid to step out and shoot those extra long three-pointers. She's not worried about towing the line. I like to see that. Ella Jacobs doing a nice job grabbing some offensive boards, giving the Riders extra opportunities there. Against Vandalia, the Riders struggled a little bit, and then get the steal there by Livia Recker. And Livia Recker follows through with a very aggressive drive to the basket for two.
Kalida doing a really nice job in the half-court offense of attacking the Rough Riders 2-3 zone. People often think of zone as being, pass it around and try to get an open three, but that's not really what you want to do. You want to make the zone collapse by getting some penetration. Wildcats are doing a nice job of that to start.
Pinching seams a little bit.
Right.
Nice turnaround in the paint by Morgan Hesse.
It was nice ball movement all around. Ella Jacobs with a nice baseline drive, kicking out to Allmeyer, and then Allmeyer making a nice pass.
There, the Riders get that turnover, and that one was really effective because Morgan Hesse covered the sideline. She took that first pass, which is what she needs to do. She needs to cover, instead of sitting back and guarding air in the middle of the floor, she went over there and took that pass and kind of forced them into a little more difficult pass, and the Riders get the turnover.
Right, when you play that zone press, the pass you give up is the long reversal. And so you have to take both the top reversal and then the up the sideline passes and make them throw it over the top.
So Livia Recker gets the foul, and Morgan Hesse is shooting two here. And the one thing that I'm seeing that's a little bit different from the game on Saturday, that some other people are willing to attack the basket a little bit more. On Saturday, about the only person who would put her head down and drive it all was Cora Rabel, and we've seen a couple with Hesse, a couple with Ella Jacobs just being aggressive and driving, and so that's good to see some improvements, which you hope you make early on.
Yeah, for the Riders to have a good season this year, Morgan Hesse needs to be aggressive offensively, and that means taking those little mid-range jumpers. And
the one thing that we did not talk about in Yeah, I think they're going to get Reagan Allemeyer with a little reach in there. We didn't talk about in the pregame was the Rough Riders' athleticism, and you know, while they've struggled a little bit offensively, the one thing that they've got, you know, in their back pocket is that they are really fast and athletic, and if they can start to utilize that and become a really good defensive team, I think they'll be able to maybe manufacture some points.
Out of defense and through transition too. You know, they're fast and they're pretty long, and so sometimes it's not about generating offense in the half court as it is using your defense to give yourself offense.
And the Riders rebound the Andrea Burgai missed three and turn it over, but sometimes those are okay turnovers. It was an aggressive turnover. They're pushing the ball and trying to make things happen, and sometimes those are very necessary. And speaking of driving and being aggressive, Avery Underfurth drives and draws the foul on Sierra Graber, who just came in a few minutes ago, and Sierra Graber is another one of them that fits the bill with that speed and athleticism for the Rough Riders. And Avery Underfurth, again, being very, very aggressive. The Riders are going to have to do a little bit better job of boxing her out. And Reagan Allmeyer did a nice job of boxing there, created the over-the-back foul.
Usually if you stick your butt into somebody and create a little space, if they get the ball, they'll give you the foul. But if you don't box, they'll usually let them come over top of you. But did a nice job of getting her butt into her.
The old turn and just go straight up usually doesn't yield any rewards.
Right.
Got a 1-2-1-1 press here, and Cora with very nice looking up the court. Sierra Graber hit the open man. We just didn't connect on that three-pointer. And Kalida brings it up and settles down again to attack this 2-3. And they've done a nice job of being aggressive. Just haven't hit those shots in the middle. And missed shot by Hesse and rebounded by Whitney Underfurth. We've got quite a few Underfurths here on the roster.
Unfortunately for us broadcasters, having multiple Underfurths is probably not great. Not necessarily an easy name to say.
No. And Camille Hovis misses the shot, and Morgan Hesse grabs another rebound. She's been the Riders' leading rebounder so far in the season. Followed very closely
Cora
behind.
Rabel better watch at 5 seconds. She was pretty close there.
And Riders didn't do a very good job of really moving to get open. And again, a lot of good pressure by the Wildcats. Sierra Graber grabs the rebound.
Wildcats have gotten really pretty good looks here.
Really
in the
good
first
looks,
quarter.
just haven't
not
hit.
knocking anything down.
And Coach Huber talked about that before the game. He talked about the fact that defense was their calling card, but he needed his players to have a little more confidence in their outside shot, so that hopefully they start knocking down some of those and would help them offensively, because they have been traditionally a pretty low-scoring team. Last year, the Wildcats only made it into the 50s in 3 games. So they are definitely known as being a low-scoring team.
Yeah, it doesn't leave you much margin for error defensively. You got to be pretty good to win games only scoring in the 40s all the time.
Reagan Allmeyer with a nice open shot. And as we finish the first quarter, the Riders have a 10-4 lead over the visiting Wildcats. And we will take a break.
Auglaize Equipment Rental is your source for all your equipment needs. Whether you're a contractor or a homeowner with a project, we can help get the job done more efficiently. Check us out at 1900 Salina Road or auglaizeequipmentrental.com or just call 419-394-7883. Auglaize Equipment Rental.
Buffalo Wild Wings in St. Mary's is proud to support Rough Rider Athletics and the Memorial Student Athletes. Join Buffalo Wild Wings for each Rough Rider football game streamed on Rider Nation Station. Buffalo Wild Wings, the greatest of all times.
St. Mary's Eagles 767 is dedicated to promoting the general welfare of the citizens of St. Mary's by giving special attention to public improvements. They are also committed to helping meet the public needs and all that relates to the betterment, convenience, and comforts of the citizens of St. Mary's. For more information on how you can become a member, call 419-394-3257 or stop in during business hours at 404 East Spring Street in St. Mary's. St. Mary's Eagles, 767. People helping people.
And we're back here at Grand Lake Health System Court. The Lady Rough Riders have a 10-4 lead over the Kalida Wildcats. And as second quarter action starts, we're kind of right where we left off. The very aggressive Kalida defense kind of forcing Reagan Allemeyer to catch the ball a little further out than she wanted to, and as she stepped out of bounds, that's one you have to attribute to the defense.
Right, that's something I kind of noticed in the first quarter. It didn't bite them in the butt right until that moment, but they were kind of forcing our offense to be run way away from the three-point line. You know, look like we're getting an offensive foul here, but their defense is really pushing us a long way away from the basket. It's really tough as a team to run your offense that far away from the rim because passes are so long and you have very little space from the sideline. It's just not a good recipe.
The Riders may have to incorporate maybe a couple of down screens, down picks to pop people open.
Yep.
Otherwise, and if you look right here,
they're just denying.
Yeah, they're just
passes.
denying everything. And suddenly we have Morgan Hesse, 30 feet from the basket, trying to reverse the ball, and that's not necessarily what the Riders need.
Right, and she's trying to get us into the offense there, and that's not her skill set, and that was forced because they denied Reagan Allmeyer from getting the ball, so they forced us out of what we wanted to do.
And Kalida did a nice job, and they have the last several possessions of breaking that 2-2-1 and dropping it down a little bit. And again, Livia Recker missing a pretty good look at a three there. But attacking that 2-2-1 and St. Mary's not doing a good job of getting someone over there, rotating over there to cover that. And if not getting any steals out of it, then suddenly you got to reevaluate how we're defending. A little big-to-big passing there from Hesse Jacobs, and a good look, just didn't connect on it.
And sounds like that was kind of the story of the game against Vandalia Butler, the Riders' last game, where getting decent looks, just not converting. That shot by Ella Jacobs there. When you're a team that doesn't score very well, those are ones you got to hit.
And Meredith Backrath gets her own rebound, keeps it alive, and although Kalida is not a big team, they are a very aggressive team.
You can make up for a lot of size deficiencies by being aggressive and playing hard and using fundamentals in terms of crashing the boards and boxing out, you can really make up for a lot of that.
Avery Unverfirth, and when I say, not very big, Avery's a 5'10", really solid post player here, but missed the first free throw. And calls in that second one to make it score 10-5. The Rough Riders haven't scored in a while. It's been a little drought here.
I think most of that's probably attributable to Kalida's defensive pressure. They've done a really nice job of really maintaining that. Some teams will come out really hard and then really drop off in intensity.
Cora Rabel did what needs to be done when they're getting tight up in your face. She drove and finished with the left. A really nice finish.
Yeah, I mentioned it earlier, but when teams pressure you that far away from the rim, you have to take it to the rim because there's nobody in help side. If they're all denying passes, it makes it for basically a one-on-one, and you got to be able to take advantage of that. I think Meredith Bachrath got away with a little travel there on the drive, but
Leah Romas comes into the game for Kalida, and have her listed at 6'1". She's a little thinner, but again, 6'1" is still 6'1". Andrea Burgai, another good look. And the Rough Riders really pushing the tempo here. Something that they did quite a bit in the scrimmages. You could tell it was a point of emphasis, really trying to push the ball up, and that's something that a lot of times teams will try to do when they're not necessarily a great half-court offense team.
Right. That should be for the Rough Riders. They're not very big, and they're not great in the half court, not a great shooting team, but they're really fast. So that's something they should be able to take advantage of against a lot of teams if executed correctly.
You've got Morgan Hesse who runs really well right now. Sierra Graber on the court, and Sierra was the 100 and 200 WBL title winner in track this year. The girl can run. You take advantage of those types of things.
Good look from Reagan Allmeyer. Unable to knock it down.
And Morgan Hesse gets the offensive board there by being aggressive. That's a possession gained. Now see, I'd love us to move up just a tad bit so that we might be able to get that steal right there. That's the one that I'd like to see us rotate over to get.
Yep, that's the pass that Sierra Graber needs to get to the sideline and take that away. That's who the back man needs to rotate and take that pass away. She's kind of just hanging out
in the middle of the court.
Yeah, hanging out in the paint, not really guarding anybody. So
guarding that WBL sign.
Right. Not a lot of points. Not a lot of point to be there. Looks like they're going to tag Cora Rabel with a foul, and I think that's her second.
Some might argue a little on the ticky-tack side on that one, but the guy was clear across court calling it. But that's all right. I like to see that aggressiveness and half-court defense from the Riders. Wildcats doing a little bit of ball screening. And we talked about Leah Romas coming in, and 6'1", did a nice turnaround there, taking advantage of her size. You don't have to be too tricky when you can just turn and shoot over people.
Right.
Morgan Hesse with a nice shot from the corner, and that was good ball movement by the Riders. Yep, that's the
that
one.
same pass.
Yeah, that same pass. Cora Abel down there fighting for a board. Like to see that aggressiveness. Kalida's running a lot of people in and out, keeping people fresh.
If you're going to apply a lot of pressure, a lot of times you're going to need to sub quite a bit,
Yep.
just to keep everybody able to maintain that pressure. Unless your kids are in a remarkable shape, it's sometimes tough to do.
Morgan Hesse, 11 points a game. And again, that bank is open for business. Cashing a check here. That looked a little better. Nothing but net. Riders take a 16-7 lead. And as we said with the Riders here a little bit ago, she may have gotten away with a walk on that. Kalida hasn't scored in a while either.
Yeah, 9 points, normally not a huge lead, but in this game, that's a pretty big lead.
Yes.
It's pretty comfortable considering how little both teams are scoring.
Nice left. Aggressive take.
Again, kind of a phantom foul, I would argue there. Didn't seem to be much contact, but she did make a nice move.
And Brooke Earhart cashes in. Now, I said nice left, but she is left-handed, so.
Not quite as impressive.
Yeah, not to take away anything from the shot. It was a nice move. It was a very good move. And an aggressive rebound by Morgan Hesse. And once again, Cora Abel doing a nice job of pushing the ball up the court. Maybe catching Kalida, I don't want to say loafing back, but, you know, just getting them in transition a little bit. And we have now Ashley Nuss at the free throw line. Ashley's a 5'6" junior. Played mostly JV last year. And Reese Rabel grabs a rebound. And it is definitely the night for Morgan Hesse. Nice turnaround, and Coach Huber has to call a timeout to hopefully stem the tide a little bit. I think this is a 30 seconds, so we'll probably stay here. And boy, if you look at that replay there, I'm not so sure Morgan even got an eye on the rim on that turnaround.
I don't think she did. She was already kind of in the shooting motion by the time that thing was going up.
And there you see a very nice assist by Reagan Allmeyer out to Morgan Hesse. And right now Morgan Hesse is just saying, hey, jump on my back. I'll carry the team with 12 points.
Yeah, single-handedly outscoring Kalida.
Yes.
Having a nice game.
Now last year, and again, not to jinx the Riders or anything, last year, if you look at the quarter scoring, the Riders were ahead 13 to 9 at halftime, and Kalida scored 1 point in the second quarter. Again, another great assist from Reagan Allmeyer, and Morgan doing a great job cutting to the basket. Really like to see this aggressiveness out of her. Missing a little bit, I thought, over the weekend. And the senior is going to step up and hopefully cash in a couple free throws here.
That's something you really got to see out of a senior, you know, who's played quite a few varsity minutes, is especially early in the season as the younger players are kind of getting acclimated to new roles, is kind of taking the offensive burden off of others and saying, all right, I can carry us for a little bit. You know, being aggressive, taking shots, making good cuts. And she's done all of that tonight so far.
And she's obviously shown some growth. 7 points a game, just over 7 points a game last year, and she's already just in 2 games averaging 11 points a game, so she's up in that, and I can see that increasing, you know, as the season wears on. 6 rebounds a game last year, and she's at that or slightly over already this year. Oh. No.
Maybe in the NBA she gets away with that one, but definitely took an extra one getting to the rim there.
Yeah, nice move, but yeah, it doesn't count here. And Cora Rabel's kind of settled down here in this quarter and doing a nice job. As I say that, she fumbles the ball, but yeah, doing a nice job of handling pressure. Right idea. However, if you've watched Kalida, they do a really nice job of covering backdoor cuts.
Yep.
They're not running lanes out of control, and so when we make those backdoor cuts, a lot of times we haven't been open that much.
Yeah, it's something you have to drill as a team to cover the passing lane, and then when your main cuts backdoor to then open up and take away the back door. It's something that's got to be practiced, and obviously something that Coach Huber's worked a lot on.
Yeah.
They're doing a very nice job of taking away both the passing lane and then the back door too.
Brooke Earhart back at the free throw line again. .5'8" senior just ekes one in there for her second point of the night.
That's something I'm sure Coach Huber would like to see, is maybe a little more trips to the free throw line. You know, a team that struggles to score, getting to the line can be an easy way to add to that point total.
And really, if I'm Coach Huber, I can't complain about their shot quality.
No.
They've gotten really pretty good looks at things, just haven't necessarily cashed in on stuff. You talked a little bit earlier about sometimes you got to put your head down and go, and that's exactly what Cora Rabel did right there.
Right. You know, they're putting on that full court man press, and once she beat her man, there's basically nobody to step in front of her because everybody's kind of sucked up to their own man. So that's what you got to do right there.
We always used to call it tree hugging, and there's a lot of tree hugging going on out there, and that's okay because that's their defensive philosophy. They're aggressive and they're staying tight, denying entry passes and things.
It's about trade-offs. You know, you're saying we're going to give up some of those, but we're also going to get some turnovers.
So Cora Rabel, 8.5 points per game on the season so far, cashes in on a free throw there to give the Riders a 19-10 lead. And Coach subbed her out. May not have wanted her to pick up that third foul.
Right.
A smart sub there. As the clock winds down here, I'm sure Kalida would like to hit something. Ooh, a little fade screen there against the zone. Not necessarily the foul you want, but good aggressive drive by Livy Recker with 12 seconds to go in the half.
Yeah, kind of bailed her out there. She was kind of stuck, had nowhere really to go with the ball. But
yeah, and it was going to be a about a 15-foot
underhand finger roll.
But
not exactly a high percentage.
Not a high percentage. Definitely not a great foul. And looked smooth on the free throw.
But that's why you're aggressive. You know,
Yep.
those calls happen when you're aggressive attacking the rim.
For a third and fourth point for the senior. Now, hopefully they're aware of the clock here as we wind down. Yes, we are aware of the clock. And Ella Jacobs did a great job of taking the shot because we needed to get the shot up, but we weren't real smart in that foul. You know, look at the clock.
90 feet from the rim.
90 feet from the rim.
With basically no time left in the bonus, which makes it worse. So you give them two free throws.
Yeah, they were doing nothing with the ball. Ali Aromas. And as time expires, the Riders go into the locker room with a 19-11 lead in this defensive slugfest here at Grand Lake Health System Court. And we will take a break while
Fellowship of Christian Athletes is a middle school and high school club looking to spread God's love throughout numerous schools and communities of our local area. FCA's favorite play of the game is both teams joining together in prayer at the conclusion of the game. God bless you, sports fans.
Hello, I'm Dr. Ellen Hunter, owner of Family Audiology Associates with offices in Salina and St. Mary's. I am a St. Mary's Memorial graduate and a proud supporter of our Auglaize and Mercer County community. Since 2004, my staff and I have tested and treated the hearing imbalance of many of our infants, children, adults, and elderly in our community, and we would be proud for you or your loved one to be one of our next patients. Call Family Audiology Associates today, your hometown hearing experts, and go Riders!
Here at TLC, we expanded our business, so we wanted the security of knowing exactly where all the kids are and what's going on in each of the rooms. We chose Fowler's because we've done all our televisions with them, and they mentioned they have security systems. So we just wanted to go out and look at it, and they were very upfront, and they do excellent work from start to finish. And so we chose Fowler's TV. It's been great for us here at TLC Learning Center, and Fowler's TV would be great for anyone.
Guarneri's Pizzeria and Pub has partnered with Rider Nation Station this season so that every Friday night, Guarneri's can be Rough Rider Central. Guarneri's will be streaming Rough Rider football live every Friday night at 7, paired with your favorite Rider aid. Call Guarneri's during or after the game to place your pickup order for pizza, wings, or hoagies at 419-394-2244. Remember, Guarneri's, home of the signature Big Ralph.
At Chef Auto Sales in St. Mary's, we don't play any of those pricing games. Our quality vehicles are priced at or below market value, and our no-pressure friendly staff is here to help you. So before you buy, give us a try. Come see me, Aaron Hyde, the car guy at Chef Auto Sales.
If you're looking to renovate your home, former Rough Rider football standout Craig Hewer is your go-to man. Hewer Renovating is an all-phase residential specialist with over 40 years experience and an A+ Better Business Bureau rating. Improve your investment by giving Hewer Renovating a call at 419-394-8643. Kogi Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning has brought the best in comfort control and plumbing services to the St. Mary's area for over 57 years. Kogi's takes pride in identifying heating, plumbing, and air conditioning solutions which stand out from the rest. Give Kogi's a call today. Kogi Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning, a name you can trust.
Are you looking for a new trailer or needing your current one fixed? Then head over to Midway Trailer Sales. We're conveniently located just off U.S. Highway 33 in St. Mary's and Interstate 75 in Dayton. We're your one-stop shop for new and used trailers, flatbeds, and snowplows. We also offer a wide array of parts to fit your trailer's needs. Our professional service team will get you back on the road in no time. And of course, we're Ohio's only authorized empty hopper dealer. Come visit us at www.midwaytrailers.net. When you need a haul, give Midway a call.
Miller Funeral Home has been serving the Rough Rider community in its time of need since the 70s. Our business is a family affair, dedicated to serving families with integrity, dignity, and compassion. Miller Funeral Home, proud to be a supporter of the Rough Rider community.
If you want a winning banking relationship for all your financial needs, let Minster Bank help. We can make all your winning dreams come true. Find us at minsterbank.com. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Plus One Professionals Real Estate always goes the extra mile. Besides listing and selling, they offer free use of their moving van and a free interior design consultation to their customers. Plus One Professionals, going the extra mile.
Here we are at Memorial High School Grand Lake Health System Court. Girls basketball early season action. St. Mary's Rough Riders 19, and we're going to have a little score adjustment, 19-12 over the Kalida Wildcats. Crack statistician Derek J. Said at halftime, hey, I thought that Wrecker hit both of those free throws and they didn't get counted. And sure enough, as the teams headed into the locker room, the scores table was doing a little debating over there, and suddenly the Wildcats had 12, so they'll get a nice surprise when they come out of the locker room and go, hey, we're a little closer than we thought. But 19-12, Derek, give us some stats here from the first half.
Yeah, so the Riders score 19 points, 6 of 15 from the field. That's 40%. 1 of 6 from the three-point line at 16%. And 6 of 11 from the line for 54%. They turned it over 6 times, pretty reasonable. Morgan Hesse leads the way, 4 of 5 shooting, 12 points, followed by Cora Rabel, Reagan Allmeyer, both with 3 points, and Ella Jacobs rounding things out with 1 point. The Kalida girls scored 12 points, were a pretty miserable 3 of 16 from the field for 18%. 0 of 6 from the three-point line, 6 of 9 from the line for 66%. Olivia Recker leading the way with 4 points. I was kind of thinking as we were going over the ads there, just, if I'm Coach Huber, I'm really pretty happy with where you stand. They're getting decent looks. They're not hitting anything, but they're only down 7. That they haven't scored much, but neither of the Riders are playing good defense, and they're definitely within striking distance. But if I'm Coach Burke, in a similar sense, they're getting decent looks, just not knocking things down, and playing good defense, putting some pressure, getting some easy transition stuff. I think that's probably what I would be emphasizing in the locker room if I were Coach Burke, is getting things out in transition. That's when they've looked their best and gotten their best looks, is when they're kind of pushing things up the floor off of a Kalida miss.
Well, getting to the free throw line 11 times is good. I'm sure that Coach Burke would like that percentage to be a little higher.
Sure.
6 of 11 is not knocking them down at a great pace, but some of that is because they have done a pretty good job of attacking. I thought in the first quarter they were a little more passive, maybe got a little caught off guard a little bit by the pressure, but then I thought in the second quarter they really were much more aggressive, trying to take the ball to the basket and just not being back on their heels quite as much. If you look at the first couple games, against Vandalia especially, the Riders were on their heels a lot. Ran a lot of their handoff offense, or not handoff, ball screen offense, and just ran it. A lot of side-to-side dribbling, and they were content to continue to screen and continue to reverse the ball, but nobody ever turned the corner. Nobody attacked the basket. And
sure, the point of that ball screen motion is to be able to more easily get around your man and into the paint and getting downhill towards the rim. But by setting that ball screen, the point isn't just to run through it and run through it and run through it.
And you can tell that in practice, and what they've had one day of practice since then on Monday, that it was obviously a point of emphasis because the Riders have come out and they've been much more north-south oriented in their offensive mindset. So that's a plus. Again, the Riders got a late start, as did other teams, but the Riders got a late start with all of their players together because of soccer. And so you would hope that you'll see quick improvement as in the early part of the season, especially. For Kalida, as you said, got to be pretty happy really with 12 points here and only down 7. And if you look at their score last year, they had 13 points at halftime. And so, this is about where they were last year.
I'm sure he's mentioning that.
I'm sure
this
he's
is where we were
that,
last year, and we went on a run in the fourth quarter to win.
No, I take it back. They had 9 points last year. Yeah, and we had 13, so it was a really low-scoring game. And then they came out in the fourth quarter and dropped 16 on the Riders, and that was kind of the difference in the game. So I'm sure he's talking to him about being patient. And speaking of patience, Cora Abel finds Ella Jacobs for the nice feed inside and start out the half with a pretty easy bucket.
Kind of caught the Wildcats in a scramble there. They had trapped. Boy, pretty quick 10, but we'll take it. But yeah, they kind of caught the Wildcats off of a trap and scramble and just found the open man. And Ella Jacobs doing a nice job of getting down to the rim where she had an easy look too. Sometimes people want to gravitate out to the three-point line when they're unguarded, and you want the easiest shot that you can.
Oh, yeah. A little flat pass by the Riders. And Meredith Bachrath did a nice job of running that lane and then finishing out with a 2.
Kind of saw that one coming. The Riders ran that same kind of up screen, curl screen set that they're running, not here, but they'd run it 2 possessions in a row, and they nearly got it the first time and obviously was ready for it the second time.
Huddle makes it difficult. Nice drive. Morgan did not finish there, but again, a good aggressive take to the basket. Huddle makes it easy for opposing coaches to scout now, and you can pick up those sets pretty easily.
Sure.
And if you don't have a little variety to your offensive specials, they can be sometimes easy to jump like that. And there, it's a turnover by the Riders, but again,
I'd say maybe ill-advised because even if she had caught it, looks like they're going to get it. Camille Hovis with the foul here. But even if she had caught it, really not a lot she could have done there. She was pretty far into the basket.
Ella Jacobs with a steal and then draws the foul, and Ella got up there after that, and she's only 5'7", but she's got a little hops to her.
She was playing a little defensive back right there.
Yeah.
Opened up her hips and played the ball just like a corner.
And Ella's got she's got the jumping ability. Track season, she was the WBL high jump champion. So yeah, the Bengals may need to recruit her.
Yeah, the Bengals are definitely a little thin at corners, so she might be able to help.
I especially like that drive by Cora Rabel because she's using her left. She's taking the left. Some of our guards from our boys team need to take note there that you can drive to this left side of the floor.
Yeah, and she made a nice move, a little bit of hesitation, kind of lifted the head, faked back.
And nice fake by Morgan Hasse, and Cora delivered the nice assist to her.
That's something new, I think, from Coach Burke
I
on the baseline out of bounds. We run a lot of baseline, lob it to the big, and that's a nice little counter. Which they obviously did. They expected that, and she was ready for the lob to be thrown to Morgan, and then suddenly she cuts to the basket and it made for an easy shot.
Brooke Earhart does a nice drive there for the Wildcats to bring the score 23-16. And suddenly we've got a little more offensive output there. At Rabel to Rabel there for the shot. Cora did not finish, but a nice assist. Again, we're being aggressive. You gotta like that. Morgan Hasse rotated over there very well to cut off the baseline.
A little flare screen on the zone.
A little flare, and again, good look. Ella Jacobs gets inside position there, and Brooke Earhart goes over her back. Just her second foul. Nobody really in any foul trouble for either team.
Camille Hovis does have 3. She's on the bench for 3.
Okay.
Kalida is still applying that full court man, making Cora Rabel work as she gets it up the floor.
Meredith Bachrath does a very nice job on the ball. She moves her feet really well.
Makes them turn, which is what you got to do.
And Morgan Hasse misses one of her easier shots of the day today. And Cora Rabel, just as you say, nobody's in a whole lot of foul trouble. Cora picks up number 3, and I'm not sure how confident Coach Burke would be right now in not having her handling the ball.
Yeah. Don't have much frame of reference for Cora, but some players are fine playing with foul trouble, and some players cannot do it. It's just kind of based on temperament, I think, a lot, and we'll see if Cora can be smart.
And right after that, again, I may have jinxed the Riders on this. Morgan Hasse picks up number 3.
Yeah, I think he did. It's suddenly, whoa.
Meredith Bachrath got a little out of control there, picked up the traveling call. I think she was hoping probably for a foul.
Yeah.
I think her feet just kind of got tripped up a little bit there. But yeah, the Wildcats are doing a really nice job of making life miserable for Cora. And suddenly Morgan Hesse's
cooled off a little bit.
Cooled off just a tad. A good look by the Riders.
Yeah, those are shots you still got to continue to take even if you miss them.
And
it's their first made 3 of the game.
Cameron Record, breaks the ice for him from 3. Reagan Allmeyer handled pressure there pretty well. And here's the ball screen offense that
just double dribbled.
Yeah. And things are suddenly a little tighter on the scoreboard. We're at 23-19.
Yeah, I think that turnover might have been a little bit of tightness right there. You know, they cut the lead, and they're putting a lot of pressure on her defensively. Suddenly it gets a little tougher to run the offense.
People aren't open as much.
Yep.
And Ella Jacobs grabbing another rebound. Ella Jacobs has been averaging about 5.5 rebounds a game for the blue and gold.
Personal foul for Cameron Record.
And Sierra Graber into the lineup. The Riders have in the early season so far have gotten some production from three. Just speaking, oh boy, that was very much in and out. Not sure what the call is there. Sierra Graber battling for an offensive board. But the Riders have had some success hitting some threes against Fairview. Reese Rabel, 3 3-pointers for 11 points. Haven't gotten good looks tonight. They've obviously, the Wildcats have done some scouting and know that Reese is a sharpshooter for the blue and gold, and they're definitely not giving them good looks. Take it to commercial here with the Riders ahead 23-19.
Colder weather is just around the corner, and you want to make sure your family's vehicle is tuned up and ready to go. Rabel's Auto Service has been voted the best auto repair center in St. Mary's the last 3 years. And did you know they will pick up and deliver your vehicle for free? Give Rabel's Auto Service a call at 419-394-1624 or stop in and see Jeremy at 1610 Salina Road in St. Mary's. Rabel's Auto Service in St. Mary's. Give them a call today.
Speckman Automotive with stores in St. Mary's and Wapakoneta is your one-stop shop for all your automotive needs. Family run since 1960, Speckman Automotive upholds the tradition of blending old-fashioned customer service with modern technology that the customers expect and deserve. Shop local. Shop Speckman Automotive.
And we're back at Grand Lake Health System Court. Girls basketball action. St. Mary's 23, Kalida 19. Derek, do we have anything quick out of the timeout stat-wise that we need to be aware of?
Not too much. Just Riders really struggling from the field. I think a really good timeout there from Coach Burke. You know, they've struggled offensively here in the third quarter. So set up a play and you get a good look. That was just a nice job from Coach Burke.
Several good passes there. A couple people unselfish and you know, making the extra pass there, and hopefully we can get Reese Rabel on the board here with her first point of the night. And Reese is averaging about 8.5 a game. Again, she's kind of been the St. Mary's sharpshooter so far in this early season. So it'd be nice to get her a couple good looks maybe.
Yeah, she's young and still kind of finding her footing, so to speak. And so sometimes you need to draw something up, get her involved a little bit, get her a little more comfortable.
And she didn't get a lot of varsity action last year. However, she saved St. Mary's during their I got to think of who it was against, Bryan in the tournament, and came in and hit several threes and I think scored like 14 points, and really saved the Riders. They were struggling offensively, and so everybody knows she can shoot, she can score. So getting just some consistency out of her and some confidence is always gonna help the Riders offensively.
And it's also about growing her game a little bit. You know, if teams, which they will, you know, as the season goes on, they're going to scout her and not let her shoot set shots. So you got to be able to do a little else, something else too.
Which she did on this last.
Yep.
On this last drive. And I think we got a foul on Reagan Allmeyer there.
Suddenly, a bunch of riders are really dealing with foul trouble here.
Yeah, I definitely jinxed them. Yeah. And Kalida, and they've done this throughout. They've been pretty aggressive, attacking seams and.
Yep, it forces fouls.
Leah Romas missed a shot that she hit earlier in the game, that same turnaround shot, so that was good. And Reagan Allmeyer lost that one. I'm not sure how much Reagan loves her left hand. Not exceptionally confident dribbling this direction with it, but Sierra Graber willing to stick her nose in there in the little scrum and come down with the ball. And here we have, I believe, Lauren Jacobs into the lineup.
Nice take.
Oh, nice.
Brooke Earhart.
Nice drive by Brooke Earhart. And with that last second bucket there, brings the Wildcats within 3, 24-23 as we head into the final quarter of action. We will be back.
Hello, I'm Dr. Robert Spees. Welcome to Spees Chiropractic and Wellness Center.
As a family practice, Spees Chiropractic welcomes in patients of all ages. Whether this is your first time or you've done this before, Dr. Spees and his compassionate staff are here for you. What makes Spees Chiropractic unique is their 3-tier approach. By using chiropractic care alongside massage therapy and physical therapy, all your healthcare needs will be treated compassionately and comprehensively. Spees Chiropractic. Make the right choice for your care.
VFW 9289's mission is to honor all veterans, past, present, and future. Come on out on Football Friday nights to watch the live stream of Rough Rider football. VFW 9289, a proud sponsor of Rider Nation Station.
And we are back at Grand Lake Health Systems Court, St. Mary's, Ohio, for girls basketball action, non-league action. The Kalida Wildcats from the Putnam County League taking on the Western Buckeye League Rough Riders. And Sierra Graber got the offensive board. I think that's about our third of the night already. Rough Riders did turn it over.
Oh, that's a tough break to start the quarter right there. Cora Rabel picking up her 4th foul, 10 seconds in.
And that's we'll have to see how the Riders handle the pressure at this point in time, because she's done the about 99% of the ball handling so far this game. And Meredith Buckrath gets the rebound and takes an aggressive drive to the basket to draw the foul.
That's one thing that the Colorado Wildcats have done a really nice job of tonight, is hitting the offensive glass. They've gotten a bunch of offensive rebounds here. You know, we don't have the stats for that. We just don't have the personnel for me to be able to do all stats tonight, but just they have to have had a bunch. I'm sure they have double-digit offensive rebounds. You know, which for them, that's something they'll need to do throughout the year, because they're not a great offensive team, but definitely something to work on for the Riders.
And Meredith Backrath puts her third and fourth point of the night on the board with the free throws. And boy, I don't know if you've noticed, but the Kalida pressure.
Yeah, they sensed a little blood in the water with Rabel out, I think.
Reagan Allmeyer with a very nice feed to Sierra Graber. And the track star finishes for her first couple points of the night.
Nice job by Cora Rabel. Tying her up, getting a turnover there.
Reese Rabel.
Oh, yep, Reese Rabel.
Too many Rabels. No, actually, not enough Rabels. Sister Quincy back in 2017 for the Rough Riders. So
been a steady stream of Rabels.
Steady stream. Reese is number 3, and I tell you what, it's been a blessing for Rough Rider basketball to have all of them out on the floor. Huge contributors every year. Oh, she may have gotten away with a travel there.
I think she did.
Morgan Hesse with the rebound off the Earhart miss. And Reagan Allmeyer draws a foul.
Did a nice job off of the miss there. Just going and kind of taking it up the floor before they could get set up in the pressure. Sometimes that's the most effective way to beat pressure is to beat it before it can even get set up. That was a nice job. Got herself to the free throw line.
And Cameron Record very aggressive on the ball handling, and I'm sure that Coach Huber's telling them, hey, their main ball handler is out right now. Let's get up in their face and really pressure them. Thankfully, Reagan Allmeyer handled the pressure and drew the foul and cashed in on those 2 free throws. So again, the Riders are pretty quick here. We need to box out on that backside, but got the rebound anyway. So with a 5-point lead here at Grand Lake Health System Court.
Nice slip, great pass.
Graber took the left hand, which is the shot that needed to be taken. So kudos for doing that. Just didn't quite finish it, but it was a nice read on her part too. Slipping the screen was definitely what needed to be done there.
Yep, her man was definitely setting up to trap that ball screen, and so that leaves nobody at the rim.
And Brooke Earhart drives again. I'm not sure if the Riders have remembered that she's is left-handed. Yeah, they're kind of not overplaying her on the correct side.
Kalida getting the turnover there. Really nice job on help side. That was a help side turnover.
Oh, and Ella Jacobs may have gotten away with a little reach-in foul there on the shot, but certainly the Riders will take it. And instead they tagged Camille Hovest with the foul on the rebound, and Coach Huber not real happy about the missed call there on the shot.
Yeah, I think Coach Burke has an argument.
Yeah, he might have an argument. Coach Burke is just kind of smug. Yeah, we'll take it. And Morgan Hesse misses the first free throw. Hopefully she can cash one in. That three-point advantage is not real comforting.
Yeah, she's had a real nice first half, been kind of quiet here in the second half. Be nice to get her going again here.
There we go. Cashes in on her 15th point of the night. The only Rough Rider even close to double figures. and this is what we kind of expected from this game.
Yep.
You know, the Kalida is a grinded out defensive team. Rough Riders have kind of struggled offensively a little bit. So this has definitely lived up to its billing. And with the Burgeye miss, Cora Rabel does an excellent job aggressively chasing down that defensive rebound.
Definitely had the potential for a long rebound, as Cora Rabel then, after getting the nice offensive rebound, then turns it over.
Took too long getting up the court, and kudos to Addie Miller. Man, she just D'd her up.
Yep, she turned her a bunch of times, and I think Cora just didn't have the internal clock going of, 7, 8, 9.
Yeah.
As a ball handler, you got to have that in the back of your head. Ball handling, or as an inbounder, you got to have a little internal clock of, okay, I got to throw it in soon, or I got to get it across half court soon. She just didn't quite have any awareness there.
Stanford just lost a game to South Carolina because of that lack of that internal clock.
Yep.
Here a couple days ago. In overtime had a inbound
call.
Yeah, 5-second call on an inbounds pass. No internal clock, no timeouts to save her. So, and defensively, the only thing that worries me of the Riders is that. Yeah, that was probably a pretty legit call, running through the lane for the Wildcats. And good news for the Rough Riders here. The Wildcats just hit 10 fouls for the second half, so they'll be doing double bonus the rest of the way. But the only thing, as I started to say a second ago, the only thing that worries me a little bit for the Riders is, man, the Wildcats have not hit shots. And will the percentages at some point in time catch up, and will they hit something? And
when you're only up 4,
when you're only up
it
4,
only takes a shot or two to make up that ground.
Yeah.
You'd like to see for the Riders that they take advantage of the cold shooting.
Knuckleball for Reagan Almeyer for 3, and boy, was that a big shot for the blue and gold.
Yeah, especially after missing both ends of the free throws.
And Ella Jacobs gets tagged with a reach-in foul, and that's a fairly legit call because they've been calling it down here at this end, that same body foul.
Yeah, I think that'll make the Kalida fans a little happier. I think they probably think they're getting cheated a little bit on the fouls. Oh, whoa.
Ashley Nesbitt got the rebound. I think she switched pivot feet. Maybe twice.
She did it twice.
Maybe twice.
Got away with it, though, and that's all that matters.
Yeah, the Wildcat fans with the fouls now at 11-6 are starting to complain a little bit. Now see if Reese can regroup. She missed his last 2 in the free throws, and hopefully she can cash in these. There we go. That looked a little smoother. And for the 5'7" sophomore, just 1 of 2. Just 2 points for the night. Has played a pretty decent floor game though, and I know she would rather have a few more points in her column, but she's getting some rebounds and handling the ball pretty well, attacking the basket. So, I'm sure, again, Coach Burke can't be too upset. She's a sophomore, and she's showing some maturity out there.
Sure, and until she can develop a little game outside of the three-point line, she might struggle to score a little bit.
And nice lob in there to Hesse, who gets another bucket for 17 on the night. And kind of important for the Riders to not foul right now. They're up 10, 35-25.
Kalida's really struggling to score. You don't want to give them anything easy.
Right. And Mallory Romas fouls Morgan Hesse on the drive. I think Romas could probably just stand straight up and block her. She got some long arms.
Morgan really earned that foul, though, with her aggressiveness by
yes, she did.
Taking it right into her, kind of using her shoulder to kind of dip into her, create a little contact.
Coach Burke doing a little offense-defense with Cora Rabel. She's got those 4 fouls, and he certainly does not want to lose her. So he's running Ashley Nuss out on defense for her. And there'll be a sub again. Here she goes. And same thing with Ella Jacobs. Ella Jacobs coming out on offense. Doing a little rotating with Sierra Graber to kind of help her. I think we're
30-second timeout.
Just a 30 seconds, so we'll stay here. And Derek, we've got 2 minutes left. What are you telling them if you're Coach Huber?
You know, if you're Coach Huber, your kid's got to be really aggressive, and at this point in time, you got to get steals into layups. Is I think the only way you can make up this difference, because you know at this rate fouling probably isn't going to help you all that much. So you really got to get steals and hope you can get some really easy looks. And as the Riders, it's really just about hanging on to possessions and taking really easy shots. It doesn't have to mean that you not shoot at all, but I'd definitely be telling my kids, no threes. You know, you're looking at layups or near layups as your only shots, because they're going to have to foul you.
And defensively, to not foul, because you don't want Kalida scoring with the clock stopped. They've struggled to score, period. You don't want to give them easy stuff at the free throw line. And we've got foul by Whitney Unverfurth here to send Cora Rabel to the foul line. The Riders haven't been, you know, stellar from the free throw line tonight. So in some ways, fouling is not necessarily a bad move for them. If they don't get a turnover.
The biggest problem with fouling for Kalida really isn't that the Riders are necessarily going to take advantage and knock down the free throws. The biggest difference is that you then have to go into half-court offense, where the Wildcats have been far from stellar.
True. And Cora comes in with point number 4 for the night. And again, Coach Burke doing a little offense-defense switch here to try to save Cora's foul. Ashley Nuss is kind of another gazelle for the Riders. Runs well, long arms. Morgan Hesse seems to be right now the
only person boxing out?
Yes, the only person boxing out, or we're not touching bodies at all. And here with 1:53 left, we got total face guard by Kalida. And that pass by Morgan Hesse may have been the longest pass that's been thrown in Rough Rider sports this. Well, no, we did throw a couple in a couple early football games, but yeah, nice deep bomb there to Ella Jacobs, and hopefully we can get at least one out of this free throw. That looked like I tell you what it looked like. It looked like a Doug Spencer to Derek Turner pass from back in the day.
Yeah, that was definitely the Doug Spencer special. Loved the full court baseball style pass.
A shout out to Doug, who's not here tonight. And both Brooke Earhart and Camille Hovis missed pretty much point blankers.
Just been that kind of
night.
Yeah,
there's been a lid on it for some reason for them. And Olivia Meyer gets the steal and turns around and takes it right. Oh, no, wrong person. Meredith Bachrath gets a steal and takes it right to the basket to draw a foul. And we talked about this just a couple minutes ago, that it's important to not let them score with the clock stopped.
And the turnover too, because it allows them to score really quickly.
Yeah.
They're not scoring much period, but allowing them to score in transition and quickly is really the only way they could possibly get back in the game.
Bachrath hits points number 5 and 6 for her for the night. Brings the score at 37-27. Reese Rabel saying, hey, let me bring the ball up. Showing a little ball handling savvy. Olivia Recker goes ahead and fouls her. And that's nice for the sophomore to say, hey, give me the ball. I'll take care of things here.
Yeah, it definitely shows some maturity as a ball handler to be willing to say, I got this. I can take it up too. I would hope that tomorrow in practice that the Riders will be shooting about 50 free throws each, because it has been a struggle, to say the least, from the free throw line.
And there's Morgan Hesse again, and when the game's over, we'll be able to figure out rebounds for the night.
No rebounds for the night.
Oh no, none for the night. We don't have the Bear. Our third person as the Bear doing stats for us tonight. Derek's doing it all, color and stats, which is actually pretty difficult.
Yeah, it limits me to basically shots, to field goals, and And I've done turnovers too, but doing rebounds is too much to do if you're doing both.
And Hesse, she's been aiming for that flange quite a bit here tonight. She's hit it several times. She may need a little outing with Noah, the Noah shooting machine.
Yes, she's really launching up there pretty high.
Yep, long and short. But Cash is in there with point number 18. I don't want to fault her game at all tonight. She's been the mainstay for the Riders, and right there again gets. Almost, she's the only one down there battling right now, getting that rebound. And here we go with another sub. Those guys are getting they're running in and out.
I'm sure after taking a look at the stat sheet tomorrow, Morgan Hesse will be a little disappointed, given unless she puts in another couple points here. She's might miss out on a 20-point game by her performance at the free throw line. Those are always a little frustrating when you miss off what might be her first 20-point game,
The Rabels doing the bulk of the Rabels ×2, doing the bulk of the ball handling here to finish
get a
out.
5 second if she doesn't watch it. Picks up the foul first.
Little sister back and forth there to run a few seconds off the clock. Nope. And Cora with point number 5, and while she hasn't been double figures scoring, Cora has done a pretty solid job tonight handling the ball. I have to throw a little kudos her way for her handling of pressure, because Kalida has been very, very aggressive and had intense pressure on our ball handlers.
Yeah, you're going to turn it over some. It's not like she never turned it over, but, when somebody's pressuring her a bunch, those happen. But she did a nice job of handling things.
And as time runs out, the Riders finish, finally get off the snide and get that first win in the column for the early season, 40-27. And we will take a break and then come back with some final game stats.
Do you find yourself faced with injustice or confronted with a legal matter that you need help resolving? If so, call attorney David Walbacher at 216-225-9181. That's attorney David Walbacher for all your legal needs.
Head to Varsity Lanes for the pregame or postgame party, dinner, beverages, and bowling with the best prices in town. Varsity Lanes also specializes in birthday parties or office and corporate parties of all sizes. Varsity Lanes is the home of 2 boys and 2 girls state championship titles. Eat, drink, and bowl where the state winners are built. Proud supporters of Rough Rider Athletics, Varsity Lanes.
Albert Sporting Goods is here to outfit your team, both on and off the field. Since 1980, Albert Sporting Goods has serviced schools, clubs, and businesses throughout Ohio. For all of your uniform, spirit wear, and equipment needs, make it Albert Sporting Goods. Order online now at albertsportinggoods.com and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
And we're back here for the post-game wrap-up. The Rough Riders with their first victory of the season, 40-27 over the Kalida Wildcats. And I'm going to turn things over to Derek right now to read through some of tonight's stats.
Rough Riders scoring 40 points, led by Morgan Hesse with 18. She was 6 of 10 from the field for 60%. Followed by Reagan Allmeyer with 8, Coral Rabel with 6, Ella Jacobs with 4, and then Sierra Greber and Reese Rabel both with 2. The Rough Riders shot 39% from the field, 11 for 28. They were 2 of 10 from the three-point line, and a miserable 16 of 34 from the free throw line for 47%. So as we mentioned, I assumed it was going to be pretty rough, but yeah, that's a tough number. The Kalida Wildcats were led by Brooke Earhart with 9 of their 27 points. Kalida was 8 of 42 for 19% from the field. They were 1 of 19 from 3 for 5% and 10 of 13 from the line. The Rough Riders forced 13 turnovers while turning it over 15 times themselves, which, normally 15 turnovers you wouldn't be too excited about, but Kalida put a lot of pressure on us. And, sometimes those turnovers are going to happen with pressure, so not a terrible number. But, the Rough Riders have some good things out of tonight. Morgan Hesse, obviously, playing a really nice game all around from the floor. I'm sure had a bunch of rebounds as well. But, some things to work on. I think their rotations on their press can be polished a little bit. And obviously those free throws have to be improved a lot as they head into the season. Those are free points, as the name suggests, and you got to take advantage of that.
The Kalida Wildcats, and I'm sure they're not happy with the loss, but it is the first game of the season for them, as they had their first game canceled because of OG's fall sports, and so I'm sure that's an advantage for the Rough Riders, being in their third game, Kalida's first game. Yeah, get those first game jitters out of the way, and now Coach Huber can go back to Kalida and say, okay, well, what do we got to work on? What do we got to do to get better? And you look at it and you say, that they've got some things to build on. They're a very, very good defensive team, and so if they can, get themselves ironed out offensively, I think they're going to have a pretty successful season. Unfortunately for Kalida, they don't have an easy road here. Their next game is this Friday, and they host the OG Titans. And so they're sticking with the WBL here in the early going, but traditional power from the WBL. So they're going to have to make sure that, you know, they don't eat
clean things up quickly.
Yeah, clean things up quickly, and don't eat too much turkey, so that they're you know, kind of sluggish for Friday. But yeah, they got a game against OG. The Rough Riders, meanwhile, are done until I guess it would be next Thursday, December 1st.
Yep, about a week and a half break here.
So they have a little break when they host the Salina Bulldogs. They will jump into WBL action on that day, and again, this will give Coach Burke a little time to kind of regroup. Okay, we've gotten 3 games in quickly. What do we need to work on? What can we improve? And maybe give him time to get some things put in that he maybe hasn't had time to do because of this short fall season for him, or short early season because of the fall season. So great start to the season for everybody. Gotta thank all of the Rider Nation station crew. We've got Brandon Anthony on camera up here right beside us. Give us a wave, Brandon. Ross Henson down on the floor, and I apologize for not saying Ross's name first. He always gives me the business on that one. Our executive producer, Rich Spencer,
pulling all the strings. And he also is getting some assistance from Logan Yelton. We're bringing Logan into the mix this year to learn the ropes, and I don't know if he's going to be going solo pretty soon or not, but we want to definitely thank him for his being here tonight and working everything with Rider Nation Station. So from Grand Lake Health Systems Court, I am Kelly J. along with Derek J. The J Crew says thanks for tuning in, and we will see you on our next broadcast. Not sure when that is. Good night, everybody.
Thanks for watching another episode of Rider Nation Station. Help us help you by subscribing on YouTube or following us on Facebook.